Hi everyone, I'm Jessica Paquette, and we are in the middle of a heat wave here in the Northeast, which has made the weather a little bit too unsafe for both our human and equine athletes. I caught up with some of our horsemen and women on the things that they do to keep everyone safe, comfortable, and as cool as possible in this sort of weather.
Our guys, we stop every turn, we water them off as they walk. So they have their set routine where each horse gets to stop and walk, or stop, drink, and then they walk on further for about 15-20 minutes.
Well, definitely electrolytes every day, salt-based preferably over sugar-based electrolytes. But the old adage is you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Giving them plenty of electrolytes is the closest you're going to come to making them drink. So a horse in this type of heat, they can be drinking up to 15, 20 gallons of water a day, so you want to make sure they have fresh, clean, cool water at all times.
Well, I guess the first thing is to get started early. We get started early and try to get done early. One thing good about Parx, our wash stalls are in our barn, and our barn is completely indoors, so we're shaded. So we train early, we have wash stalls inside, so we give them baths, keep them cool, keep them moving, check their water. I'm a big believer in electrolytes all year round, so that's something just I believe in.
There's a lot of liniments you can put in water, cold baths rather than warm baths, and some liniment in the water. Sometimes you can put some alcohol in the water. Fans up above, fans below. Don't train them all that hard on days like this, and you just kind of hunker down and try and get through.
What are some signs of heat distress that you look for?
You see, like, after they're done training, when they come back from the track, if they're blowing, like they've gone like 3-4 miles, or they just can't get their air, like they can start thumping because of the electrolytes not right in their system. So you got to keep your eye on all that stuff.
Really let you know, after training or something, if they're coming back like hotter than normal for what activity they did, that's definitely a sign. And usually, their hind end goes first in a heat stroke type situation. So, you always want to keep an eye on that.
Mainly their sweat content. I do have some horses that seem to sweat a little more, so I know it bothers them a little more. Like this guy, for instance, in the winter, he shivers. This summer, he seems to enjoy it. He doesn't even break a sweat hardly. I have others that sweat. So I just keep an eye on their personalities. I know the horse. I know how they are. Getting quiet is okay, but I just make sure their water intake is good and go from there.
And if you do have one that is in some heat distress, what do you do in that instance?
You get them in the wash stall, you put the cold water over them, you get a hold of the doc right away to come and, start running fluids through them and keep them going. It's kind of humid in here. We got lucky, we got these big fans, so it keeps it a little bit cooler. But
we have fans here in the barn, which is nice, and then we have electrical outlets, so I have a fan in front of all my horses.
Fans up above, fans below.
Every stall has a fan up top, and then we add our own fans down at the bottom. So they have 2 fans on them. These barns here, we have vent fans at each end of the barn that help kind of get the humidity out. So Parx is pretty well equipped for this kind of weather.